What up, guys? This is DJ Beatlifter. Haven't given you guys a tutorial in a while, so I'm just kind of winging it. I had a few requests actually like months ago, but I've been, just busy and shit. Not really sure what to do for this tutorial, so I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Forget what my requests were. So I'll probably just show you a little bit about my new kick that I used in like From the Heart, and I tweaked a bit differently, and I'm gonna be using it in another song. So I'll show you that, kind of how I did it, so you guys can get some insight on that, and maybe show you a few things. Not quite sure what, but started this quite a while ago actually, and I just never got around to showing it to you guys. Go to this one here. So there's the kick there. That's the kick. It's about just under less than half a second long. This part is only, 2/100ths of a second. So I'll show you this. This might be loud, so just don't get mad at me if I hurt your ears a bit. So that's the kick there. That took me a while. About 2 weeks, somewhere around that general area. But that's one of the finished results. That's I have more like ones that I've tweaked in here somewhere. But that's one of them. That's kind of like, that's pretty much the kick that I used in my song From the Heart. So, as you can see here, right here, here's the talk of the kick. I think I'll play that for you. That's just the talk. And then here you can see it's actually quieter than the talk and the tail. And then the rest of here. It gets a little weird at the end there, but you don't hear that in the song because the kick actually cuts about here in the song. So you pretty much don't hear this part in the song. Or just the weird part anyway. I don't know why I did that at the end, yeah. But you don't hear that, so I never really worried about it too much. But yeah, the reason this is quieter is actually because I watched Headhunterz, little kick tutorial. Well, it's not really a tutorial, you more just kind of shows you kind of like how he did his kick for Dragonborn. It's about an hour-long video, but it's not just him showing the kick, it's him showing like a lot of things. But in the video he explains how after the talk of the kick he quieted just this little bit here down right before the actual tail starts, about 3 decibels. And he said basically that it keeps the talk floating away from the tail, so you get kind of more like, I can't remember how he explained it. I watched this video quite a while ago. I don't know, just get more like a more distinctive like floating away from the tail. I can't really explain it, so I'm sorry, but it does make the kick sound really good, and this is one of Headhunter's strategies. So let's just get rid of it. So that's pretty much the result of doing that little technique. It makes it sound a lot nicer. It actually did, like when I did it, and I was actually surprised kind of what a difference it made. Just something as simple as that. So I'll kind of show you how I went about making this kick. This is kind of like the one of many projects, but this is kind of more in the final stages, the kick. But see, as you can see, actually it started out as this, I'm pretty sure. As you can hear that, it doesn't sound very good. Like that's just like crappy, shitty, boring. And then with this one, you can see it's really filtered, but you can hear that's like kind of like rolling raw distortion happening. And what I did to get that is I pretty much I used this fruity free filter, because listen to it there, it just sounds like a crushed piece of crap, right? But then I put this filter on it, Like this, I was just kind of like, this kind of just happened. It was more of a fluke, really. And then I got that after I put that filter on it, and I was like, holy crap, it sounds really raw and, you know, kind of like Zatox, like the kind of sound I was going for, more of like a raw kind of feel. And so I was like, okay, so I just exported it that, like sounding filtered like that, and then basically came over here and you can see the amount of layering I've done. Like this is all, like this is just, you know, talk, the tick right before the talk. And like Headhunterz, like basically everything I've done here is kind of what Headhunterz shows in his video as well. So that video actually helped me a lot when it came to making this new kick that I did. So you can hear that it's barely anything, but it actually does make a huge difference. There's just like, you know, a little bit of talk. You know, everything's EQ'd a little differently, because when I play it all together, you can see how many things I have going on here. Like it sounds not bad there, but it's still not done. See, and if I took this little tick out, which one is it? So I can't even tell. Hold on, it's A82. You can see what a big difference that made. Like I just took that little tiny piece of audio out, something that you think wouldn't matter, but you can hear it. So without that tick there, the kick has a lot less punch and it's a lot less talky. So it just kind of like, you know, every little bit like you add. And another thing Headhunterz showed was, I don't know if I did do it on this part here. See this one right here, these are all matching, all these waveforms are matching, but this one I shifted. It's because as you can see, like if I were to bring this out, like there's the beginning of the kick there, but I shifted it over because if I were to bring it back here, sounds a lot different. See what I mean? So basically what it does, what that's doing, is it's actually giving you're distorting your kick in a different way by just simply moving the waveform. Essentially you're like, if you can put it, like if you put the waveforms completely opposite, you're just gonna throw your kick out of phase. But if you just shift it, like, you know, to a nice spot, you can get a nice distortion out of it, a nice, you know, a nice sound. So that's what I did, and that's also another thing Headhunterz shows in his video. So that's basically that there. And then, and so after I did all this, exported it, moved on to this one, and started working on it more. Playing around with the talk more, and even adding another tick. I think, yeah, I believe I shifted it around again a little bit. And then I got this. It sounds really odd. I don't know why that sounds like that. This one sounds better. I don't know. Maybe I started here and moved. No, I don't know. But, okay. Anyways, I don't know what happened there. Ignore that. But anyways, moved on to this. I haven't opened this project for a while, so I'm sorry, I'm a little unorganized. There's another stage of the kick here. What I did is I crossfaded the kick in two different ways, as you can see. Just to, and the reason why I do that is to give the kick a smoother kind of, like with that crossfade, makes it sound, it's a little cleaner. And the reason I do that is kind of because Tone Shifters actually showed that one of their kick tutorials, that they crossfade it. And ever since I saw that, I've kind of been using that strategy a little bit. Depends, like it doesn't really matter what you do or choose or how you choose to make your kick. It's really, the end result is what matters. It's not how you go upon making that result. And as you can see here, I got a little bit crazy with the crossfading. But you know, it sounds good. And then this was kind of more of one of the end results, I think. Granted, a lot of these I did put into Edison and edited in Edison quite a lot. That's why the finish kick is in here in Edison right there. Because what I did to actually, because Headhunterz uses Logic, so you could pretty only much, and since I'm an FL Studio user, you know, I had to apply my own things to it and not do it the way he did in Logic. So to make this little dip in volume here, this is your volume envelope here. And basically what I did, you know, after the talk, I precisely moved in to where the waveforms change and go right in between the waveform there, just so you don't get like a popping sound. Because if you edit things in the middle of the waveform, you'll get like a popping sound. But if you go, I don't even know how to explain it. But if you go here where it's, you know, yeah, doing that, it won't make a popping sound, you know what I mean? Whatever. So what I did, and then here's about where the tail begins, and I think I went like, you know, somewhere around there. So I did that, and then I just kind of like pulled it down, right? Pulled it down. Up here in the left, it shows you how many decibels actually. So I went down, you know, about 3, you know, what Headhunterz said. And that's what I did. And I just did something like that. That was pretty much my strategy for doing that, is I just put in Edison. Did it in Edison. I found that was the easiest way for me to do it anyway. So that's what I did. Yeah. I'm just gonna get rid of this because I've already done it, so I don't need to do it again. So yeah. So that was kind of my end result, and to be honest, what I used to make that, I didn't do anything insane. Like, I pretty much, all I used, the only non-FL Studio things I used was CamelCrusher and Drumazon. Oh, and Bertil a little bit, I think. Actually, it's not even turned on, so I think I did use it, but then I scrapped it. Bertil is just kind of like, you know, clip distortion. You can find it useful if you're looking for a lot of like crunch or like sharpness in your kick, but at the same time, I found it kind of messy. But you know, you could use it. I'm pretty sure I did use it a little bit, but I didn't like. As you can see, like with all these layers, I mixed it a lot. Like it's like I was mixing a song, because you can see all the levels are different. It's not like I just, you know, added a layer, distorted it a little bit, added an EQ. I actually mixed the volumes, and just like certain ones I would mix in differently. Like, for example, let's see what this one sounds like. So this one here, I just have 2 EQs on it, cutting some high, and I guess bringing up some high end as well. But I don't have that mix very high, so it's so this one, you can see the big difference it makes. And this one here, just EQ'd twice as well. You know, you can see my EQs. Let's see what I have for this one. This one, there's no talk on it, but you know, just drastic EQing, CamelCrusher, and some more drastic EQing. And then this one here. See, the layers alone don't sound very good. This one I just added for like body, for some punch. But it's not mixed very high. And here's another talk one. Where I guess I did nothing with that EQ. Did nothing with that one either. Did add Love Filter though. Love Filter, um, it's not a, you know, it's not the most useful thing for making kicks, but I used it, and what I used was Stereoize, the preset Stereoize. And that kind of adds like a cool effect stereoizer here. It's a phaser, but when it's played short, it kind of like stereoizes it and like, oh man, I don't even know how to explain it right now. It's been a while. But as you can see, I have all these different, another free filter on there, which is an FL Studio plugin. Another more drastic EQing. This one is just strictly bass, I believe. Yeah, mainly just bass. Yeah, you can see, you can hear the Love Filter on this one. You can hear that kind of weird phasey sound. And that must have been what gave me that weird kind of like sound at the end of the tail of my kick. But at the same time, it also gave me a nice sound at the beginning. So when you play it all together, that's what you get. So it does take a lot of work. This kick did take me about 2 weeks to make. Well, I wouldn't say this kick exactly, but I started a new kick, and then 2 weeks later I finally got this kick. Like I started tons of different projects, trying all different strategies, and then finally I just, what I actually did is I listened to the song by Zatox. Which one is it? Oh my god, I forget the name right now. I don't know, the one with the music video with the kid in it. I can't believe I can't even think of it right now. Anyways, I listened to that song, and I kind of like I listened to the kick. Pretty much I just listened to the song just for the kick. I really liked it. So I kind of got the sound of the kick in my head, and then I kind of kept that sound in mind while I was making this kick. And I also really liked the Dragonborn kick, so it was kind of like had that kick in mind and that Zatox kick in mind. So I kind of, did that both and just kind of worked off kind of, memory of what those kicks sounded like, and then I eventually tweaking things left and right, and then I ended up with this. So if you think my new songs kicks are, fake or stolen, they're not, because I just showed you. Uh, but yeah, it takes a lot of work and a lot of patience and a lot of, just listening. Um, what else could I show you? I guess I could give you a little preview of my new song that I'm working on. I'm not going to show you much because I don't want to kind of spoil it. Um, so I'll show you guys that. Just kind of like, it's called DJ. It's kind of more like a funner kind of party song. Um, yeah, I'll show you guys that. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. You can, send me messages. I'm not going to give you my Skype. But send me messages if you have any questions. Follow me on Twitter, tweet them at me. If you want more tutorials and have more tutorial questions, seriously hound me about it, because I don't really stay on top of things unless, just yell at me for more tutorials. Yeah, I'll show you this here. Don't need to save that. So I hope that kind of helped you guys out a little bit on kick making. I know it's not the best tutorial ever, but seriously, everything I used for those kicks was really simple stuff. I didn't, buy any intense plugins or anything. Literally, all I used was, I'll name them off right now. I used, Drumazon, which is a given just to get me my 909. Drumazon, yes, I did buy. It's about $160 Canadian. It cost me, but it was worth it. So buy it. So I bought Drumazon. CamelCrusher is free Fruity Free Filter, Fruity Love Filter. Those are obviously FL Studio plugins. And Fruity Parametric EQ 2 is pretty much, those are like the 5 things I used. So everything is in FL Studio except for CamelCrusher and Drumazon and Bertil, but I don't really think I used it. I can't remember. But Bertil, you don't need it. Don't worry about that. But CamelCrusher is free. Just go to camelaudio.com and you can download it from there. Simple distortion, but it works. Works wonders, because that's all I used for my distortion on that kick. And Drumazon to just, start you off with your 909. And if you don't have Drumazon, just look up like long 909 samples, like 909 kick drums with like long tails on them, and then you can try to work off that. So as you can see, I've been using Nexus 2. Yeah, presets, whatever. But I don't just use them as a preset and then move on from there. I actually, find a preset I like, tweak it a bit, and then layer in another preset in there, tweak that a bit. So essentially I am making my own sound. I'm just working off already pre-made sounds. You can hate me for it, but it works and it gets you nice results. So yeah. So I'm going to cut out the vocals in this. The vocals are really simple. They're very simple and a little repetitive, but I like them and they do add a lot more to the song. And I don't want to spoil this completely because I want this to, be kind of like a big drop for me. So I'll show you a little bit. I'll start you off here. I don't know, this probably won't be loud actually. Sounds a lot more empty without the vocals, but that's kind of like my beginning drop there. I only started this project, maybe like a week ago, so it's still in a lot of early stages right now. And then here's kind of like the second drop. So that's kind of like my intro there. And I know a lot of you are probably going to hound on me about this, but whatever. You'll see why. So, I know what a lot of you are thinking. I ripped off Fuck You Up a little bit, but I didn't. I actually made this lead, and I did this part. Like, I made this intro to my climax, and like I made that all with no intention of, it sounding very similar to Fuck You Up by Zatox. But it just kind of happened, but I like it, so I'm gonna keep with it. So, suck it if you don't like it. I had no intention of doing that, but I like the lead, it's catchy, and yeah, it works. Works for the song. So here's kind of the drop in here. So that's kind of what I've got going on right now. I cut out the vocals, so it does sound a little empty. It actually sounds very empty without the vocals. The vocals are very simple, so don't expect them to be some crazy like MC, villain kind of stuff. But the vocals, it's not like they sound bad. But that's the project there. A little sneak peek. Sorry about the clicks and pops. I'm running off my frickin' sound driver, which sucks. I've got a Steinberg C1 or a CI1 for the sound card that I run off for when I'm working, like actually working. But in order for you to hear the audio and shit, I gotta run off the sound driver. Holy shit, 25 minutes. Woo! Anyways, I hope this tutorial helped. Um, Let me know what you think. Uh, I don't know. Send me some feedback, whatever. Follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Um, I'll put it all in the description below. Uh, yeah, and just hound me for tutorials, and I will actually get on it. I've just been, working and like working on projects, hanging out with friends and shit. So yeah, hound me for tutorials. Yell at me over Twitter or something, and like me on Facebook. Help me get my name out there. Love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching my videos. More to come and more sweet stuff to come. Alright. Peace, guys.